to your session today. We're going to work through some poses that should help with mobility but also strengthening core and shoulders. The first movement is going to be hands underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips, and make sure there's a small gap in between your knees. From here you're going to do an exhale, round through your shoulders, press into your hand, and gently tuck the tailbone under. You're then going to inhale. Lift your head, lift your tailbone. And then exhaling. Tuck your tailbone, press into your hands, and feel your shoulders sliding apart. Then inhaling, letting your ribs slowly fall towards the floor, letting your collarbone open and opening out the front of the neck as well. And then exhaling, rounding out through your spine, pressing into your hands. As I'm doing this, as I reach the top, I'm now gently pulling my belly button in towards my spine to feel like my abdominals are working. And exhaling, opening out the front of my ribs, opening out the front of my chest, trying to get a nice stretch into my neck. Coming to a neutral spine position, slowly slinking your hips backwards, rounding out through your spine, pressing into your hands and rolling from one side to the other. And I've still got my knees hip distance apart as I do this nice little movement into my lower back. And you might be able to feel your ribs against your thighs as you breathe. And getting a lovely sensation of stretch over the front of my ankles, but also my lower spine as well. Pressing your hands into the mat, slowly come back into a tabletop position. Gently extend into a high plank and press into a downward facing dog to then bring one foot forwards. It can be quite useful to have a cushion on underneath your knee. In this position, you can bring your knee forwards over your big toe. Make sure your heel doesn't come up. So we don't want to lift up, so that's me lifting the heel. You want to keep the heel and draw the heel backwards as you bring your knee forwards. And you're going to do 10 breaths here. Watch for your hip slingshotting out. Mine does it. I have to be really concerted when I am doing this movement. And you may find bringing your other knee forwards helps. And we're looking for a stretch up the back of your lower leg. From here, take your left leg all the way back behind you and then straighten out that front leg just a little bit, getting a stretch on the underside of your thigh and also in the back of the lower leg. Pressing away from your head with your shoulders. Then bending your front knee, lift your right leg up and hold in a plank. Bring the back of the head into your skull and tuck your tailbones under. Draw your heels away. We've got 5 breaths in a high plank. If this is too much, bring your knees down into a low plank position. From here, bending your knees and slingshotting back into a child's pose. Hands are out in front of you. Taking 5 breaths here. Feeling your rib cage on your thighs. Relaxing through your back, relaxing through your shoulders. Taking nice long inhales. 2, 3, 4, and exhaling. 2, 3, 4. And inhaling. 2, 3, 4. And exhaling. 2, 3, 4. From here, pressing into your hands, untuck your toes, lifting your hips up into a very gentle downward facing dog, getting a little bit of a stretch, maybe onto the back of your calves, but also onto your spine. Come onto your tiptoes and almost stumble forwards as you bring your left foot forwards if you need to. Grab a cushion to protect your right knee. From here, we're bringing the knee all the way forwards over the front of the index toe, getting a beautiful stretch onto the back of your leg. And this tells me how tight my body is at the moment. I'm not actually feeling this up the back of my leg, I'm feeling it in my hip. Okay, so you may find that you feel it in the hip. And that's quite useful because that's where we're going next. And I'm doing very deep breaths here. I want to do 10 breaths. I'm on 3. And as I inhale, I count to 4. So I'm doing an inhale, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to make that movement of my rib cage very continuous. So taking in the same amount of breath with every single beat. coming underneath your shoulders. Step back with the right foot. And then with your left foot, coming into a high plank. Again, we're going to hold this for 5 breaths. If you need to, if this is too much, you can either bring your knees down or you can come into a tabletop like we did at the beginning. If you're in a full plank or a mini plank, you're drawing your hips slightly upwards and tucking your tailbone under, bringing your head into the back of your skull, sending your shoulders nice and broad of your spine. Sending your hips all the way backwards into a downward facing dog. You might find you need to bring your feet in slightly, press your shoulders up into your ears, lift your hips all the way upwards. Use your core to hook your belly button into your spine as you do that hip lift. Keep pressing into your hands, keep lifting your hips away, up towards the ceiling, and then come up onto the balls of your big toes, stepping forwards with your right foot. Left knee is down. Just going to move a little bit further back, make sure that you can actually see everything that's going on. And I'm creating almost a square in between my foot, knee, hip, and my other knee. From here, I'm going to draw the front of my hip upwards, take a nice deep inhale, and then exhale. From here, I'm going to sweep my arms all the way up overhead, inhale, and exhale, bring my hands back down to my hips. Sweeping my arms all the way upwards overhead, inhale, and exhale. Should feel like your core is having to work and your bum. Last one, inhale, sweep your arms all the way up overhead, and then as you exhale, come into a side bend. Right hand comes down to the right hip, left hand sweeps up overhead, and I'm trying to drop my right hand down while lifting my left hand up. We've got 5 breaths here. I mean, whoever said stretching was easy, I do not know who that person is, but they're not doing it right. I should say, try not to push the hip outwards with this one. Try and remain in a straight line as you do it. I can just feel my hips starting to want to creep and slide. Inhaling, lifting your right hand up towards the ceiling. Hands come back down onto your mat. We're pressing back into a high plank position. Draw the back of the head into your skull. Press the shoulders apart, tuck your tailbone under. 5 breaths here. Pushing back into a downward facing dog, lifting with your hips up towards the ceiling. Try and get every single finger and thumb flatten down into your mat. We've got 5 breaths in downward facing dog, and then we are going to come on to the opposite side. From here, coming onto the balls of your feet, pressing into your big toe. Bring the left foot forward, right knee comes down. And you're creating a square between the heel of your left foot, your knee on the left side, the hip on the left side, and also the knee on the right side. Hips are facing forwards, so we're going to inhale, lift the front of the hip upwards. Arms sweeping all the way up overhead on your inhale. And then exhale, arms sweep back beside your hips. Inhale, arms sweeping all the way up overhead. Keep drawing your belly button to your spine. Keep drawing the front of the hip upwards. Keep squeezing your right glute. Last one. Inhale, sweeping your arms all the way up overhead. Left hand comes down to the left side of your body. Right hand sweeps up overhead, and I am trying to pull upwards with my right hand and downwards with my left hand. You've got 5 breaths here. Onto your mat, lift your right leg up, coming to a high plank again. Draw your skull into the back of your head. Now draw your head into the back of your skull. Tuck your tailbone under. Really press through every digit in your hand, and that includes the thumb. Draw your heels backwards, lift your hips, feel your core working. From here, coming into a downward facing dog, or you can come into child's pose. So I'm going to choose a downward facing dog. I'm going to lift my hips up towards the ceiling, bend my knees to begin with. Make sure I get my shoulders in the right place, my hands in the right place, pressing into my hands and then lifting through my hips and trying to get my heels down if I've created enough space. Slowly bringing your knees all the way down, pressing back into a child's pose. Hands coming together, forehead onto your mat, and lifting your prayer pose into your shoulders. Taking 5 deep breaths here. Gently bring your hands back onto your mat. Creep your hands all the way backwards, and you're in a seated position. I hope you enjoyed today's quick session. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.